Action. Okay, so first off, excellent beer dinner.
Thank you.
We're going to go through the beers. The first thing you did was, it says West Coast Fundito, so you use West Coast in the beer, which we did not have, West Coast being our #1 selling beer, but we paired it with Soul Style. Now, Soul Style is our newest beer into the fray for Green Flash, 6.5%, 75 IBU, bright tropical fruit up front, nice crisp, clean finish, good single IPA. And so you paired that with the West Coast Fundito, so tell me about that.
Well, I use the West Coast in the cheese sauce, so it's a pepper jack cheese sauce with the beer base, and the spiciness of the cheese really help cut through that.
Absolutely.
The IPA, the bitterness. I know you're not.
The hoppiness. Yeah, bitter's a. You say hoppy.
Right. But I thought it matched really well.
It did, and it's two contrasting. They're both big, aggressive West Coast style IPAs, but one being bigger than the two, but being reduced down into that cheese, it really paired well with that Soul Style. It came off really nice and crisp. So I thought it was really good. The second one he did, which I thought was a home run, and I did. I'll be honest, looking at it, I was like, I wasn't really sure about this, but then you talked about it, which we'll talk about here, and I tasted it. I was like, okay, I get it. So Hotbed Red is our double IPA. It is 8.1%, 70 IBUs. It's really cool. I like to call it like more of an introductory IPA because it has a nice caramel malt that we use. It provides a sweetness that subdues those hops and makes it less in your face like some of our beers, and it's more approachable. And so when I saw this pairing, which you did, the fresh strawberry grilled peaches, spiced pecans, and Humboldt fog cheese, and then the Hotbed Red vinaigrette. Okay, I'm not sure how this is going to work, but it did really well.
Thank
so
you.
Kind of walk me through that, because that was awesome.
So with it started off like really sort of floral and citrusy, and for some reason I was telling you, as soon as I tried the Hotbed, I was like strawberries immediately, even though it doesn't have a strawberry flavor or essence or anything to it. But as I sort of started making it, I was like, I'm going to make a salad with this, and I think that the goat cheese, the smoothness and the creaminess is really going to round out that beer. And I started like mixing the vinaigrette, and then I try a little strawberry and a little cheese, and then I try the beer, and I'd be like, oh no, and then I go back and mix it again, and then it really just brings out the sweet side rather than the hoppy side.
It works really well, and the grilled peaches, like it just kind of changed what I thought about it, and I think the cheese worked with the cutting through that bitterness that is there from the Amarillo hops we use, and that sweetness played into the vinaigrette. I thought that was great here.
Thank you. And I really like using the beer uncooked, or I like to call it raw, but I know just because it's so often you can go places and someone will make a beer batter and they'll fry something with it, or they'll stew something down and just sort of cook it till there's nothing left of what you created it to be like. And
we definitely didn't give you the easy route, which I appreciate, because you worked hard and you brought out things in the beer that typically you're going to be like, oh, just do a beer batter.
Right.
Okay. The Road Warrior was the next one. So Road Warrior, one of my favorite beers we do. It's our current seasonal. It's an Imperial Red Rye IPA with Mosaic hops and a spicy rye malt. So Mosaic gives you that grapefruit pith. The spicy rye malt really kind of comes out and takes away that bitterness. And I thought, I didn't get to actually try this dish, but everybody else I talked to said it was awesome. But you can walk me through it, because I thought it made sense, like, with the breading and all that. It's just, you're talking about the spice from the LA, so I'll let you go.
Well, it was sort of, like you said, the front note there is that citrus and that grapefruit, so immediately I thought seafood, and before I could even get seafood out of my mouth, it was like the rye at the end there was coming through.
Yeah.
So I started playing with it, and I said, you know what, we're going to do spice, we're going to have some breading. So we had that warm green tomato with the breading and the spice, and then the light crab, citrus, and sort of brought it all together.
I'm really disappointed I didn't get to try that, because everybody was like, man, this is really good. I'm like, and I'm not, not from the South. Like, I live in Texas, but I haven't had the fried green tomato experience, so that was cool, because you brought a little bit of the South to the West Coast flair. That was cool.
See, and I'm from New England, actually.
Okay, me too. Massachusetts.
Massachusetts,
yeah. We're best friends now. Go Pats. Save Tom Brady. So the next one we did was probably the rarest beer that you will find from Green Flash, Mississippi. Silver Stout, which is at base our double stout. We aged it 18 months in Heaven Hill oak bourbon barrels, and it develops a nice boozy, vanilla, kind of almost chocolate chip cookie dough toffiness to it. The beer's phenomenal, and I thought what you did, this was a home run again. I thought that the smoke and I mean, just, like I said, I tasted the sauce that she did. There was a reduction of the beer. It tasted like a barbecue sauce, and it was not at all. So please explain that, because that was awesome.
So again, I took the raw beer for the marinade and did not cook it at all, and marinated beef tenderloin in it, pulled it out, and then smoked it with using pecan wood in our big smoker, and kind of lacquering it up every couple 20 minutes, 15 minutes until it got this really nice crust on the outside. For the sauce, I literally filled a giant pot full of Vidalia onion and then poured the beer in and just let it cook. And the sweetness of that onion, and as the beer is amazing.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
And people kept walking through and they're like, what are you making? Can I try some stuff?
Like, no.
When is that gonna be done yet? Is that done? So then, and that was essentially the whole sauce. So I didn't have to add anything. The sweetness of the onion brought out the beer, and it was.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. I gotta say, it was really well done. It was a cool experience, and we're glad to be able to work with you guys and bring a little West Coast flair, like I said, to Mississippi, and we hope to do more things with you guys. So excellent job.
Thank you very much.